Welcome back everyone. In this video, I'm going to continue exploring the Indonesia's Aerospace Museum. As I already explored the outside part, it's time to enter into the building. In here, you'll see informational panels and plaques provide historical background for things such as the Air Force history and more. Let's start from the first aircraft. This is the Shurang. It is one of the most historically important aircraft in Indonesia. Originally a Japanese trainer aircraft, it became the backbone of the newly formed Indonesian Air Force after independence. From 1945 to 1948, the Shurang aircraft were used for training, transport, patrol, and even bombing missions. There's also glass display cases showcase pilot uniforms, medals, documents, photographs, and history. During the early years of Indonesian independence, several former Japanese aircraft were used to build the foundation of the Indonesian Air Force. The Mitsubishi Army Type 98 Bunsei took part in Indonesia's first aerial bombing missions against Dutch positions in Semarang in 1947. The Nakajima Ki-40G-2 Hayabusa served as an early fighter aircraft, though many were lost during the first Dutch military aggression. Alongside this, the Nishkarang, a locally assembled training aircraft, symbolizes the Indonesia's creativity and resourcefulness in maintaining aviation capability, despite limited resources. This right here is the Kamprit glider. It is an indigenous Indonesian glider developed in the 1950s, as it played an important role in training and aeronautical experimentation. This big aircraft you see right here is the North American B-25 missile. The B-25 missile is a medium bomber built by North American Aviation and powered by twin radial engines. In Indonesian service, it was one of the most widely used aircraft, serving as a bomber, reconnaissance platform, transport aircraft, and ground attack aircraft from 1950 to 1970. Its long service life reflects the reliability and importance to early Indonesian air operations. The Mitsubishi A6M50Zen is a Japanese interceptor fighter aircraft developed by Mitsubishi in 1938. It was known for its long range, high maneuverability, and combat effectiveness. The aircraft could reach speeds of up to 570 km per hour with a range of 1,570 km. The Zero-Zen was widely used by the Japanese forces during the World War II, including operations in West Irian between 1942 and 1945. In 1976, this specific aircraft was reconstructed by Lapan using recovered wreckage found in Babao, Irian Jaya. The C-47 Dakota is a military transport aircraft developed from the famous DC-3. Reliable and versatile, it became one of the most important aircraft in early Indonesian Air Force service. After independence, the Dakota supported troop transport, logistics, medical evacuation, and national missions across the archipelago. Its role during the independence struggle and operations made the C-47 a symbol of unity, endurance, and a vital importance of the air transport in Indonesia. While at this museum, you can enter the Dakota and see the interior of cabin and cockpit with flight controls still attached into it. Besides from the B-25 missile, the Indonesian Air Force also operates the B-26 Invader, a heavily armed and capable of carrying large bomb loads. It became one of the most important combat aircraft in Indonesian Air Force history, from the early 1960s to mid-1970s. The WELRIX is an early Indonesian experimental aircraft designed by aviation pioneer Buiweku Supono. The RIX represents innovation and the pioneering spirit of Indonesia's early aircraft development. Another training aircraft right here is the L4J Piper Cub. It is a light training aircraft developed from the civilian Piper J3 Cub. Simple, reliable, and easy to fly. It was widely used for observation, training, and communication duties. This thing you see right here is the Hiller 360 utility helicopter. Manufactured in the United States, it was designed for experimentation, training, and light operational duties. One of its most historic moments occurred on 24 December 1950 when it was flown by experimentally by Air Commodore Wiweko Supono, a key figure in Indonesian aviation. This is the Stearman. It is a primary trainer aircraft built by Boeing in 1944. In Indonesian aviation history, the Stearman holds a special significance as it was used to train Indonesian cadets in the United States between 1950 and 1951 at the Talawa Academy of Aeronautics in California. These cadets later contributed to the development and defense of Indonesian air sovereignty. The 8016 Harvard is an American-built advanced training aircraft, widely used during and after World War II. Known for its reliability and strong performance, it was used to train pilots in advanced flight maneuvers before transitioning to combat aircraft. Operated by the Indonesian Air Force in the early post-independence period. In front of us right here is the P-51D Mustang, a legendary fighter aircraft manufactured in the United States and widely regarded as one of the finest piston engine fighters of its era. Known for its speed, long range, and heavy firepower. It played an important role in strengthening the Indonesian Air Force after independence. Operated by a single pilot and armed with 6 12.7mm machine guns, the Mustang was used for air defense, ground attack, and combat missions. During the early 1960s, the Indonesian Air Force operated several Soviet-built jet aircraft to modernize their air power. The UTI MiG-15 served as a two-seat jet trainer, preparing pilots for high-speed jet operations, while the MiG-17 and its interceptor variant, MiG-17VF, became frontline fighters and were actively used in major national operations such as Trikora and Duikora. Complementing this aircraft, the MiG-19S introduced a sustained supersonic flight capability, significantly strengthening Indonesia's air defense. Together, this aircraft marked Indonesia's transition to modern jet age. This is the Levakin LA-11, a Soviet-built long-range piston engine fighter developed in the late 1940s, designed for air defense and escort missions. This is the de Havilland Vampire DH-115, a British-built jet trainer aircraft developed from the Vampire fighter series, operated by the Indonesian Air Force in the late 1950s and early 1960s. It was used to train pilots in jet flying techniques and handling. The aircraft played an important role in preparing Indonesian pilots for more advanced jet fighters. This one right here is the PZL TS-8Bs, a Polish-built military trainer aircraft designed for basic and intermediate pilot training. Operated by the Indonesian Air Force in the late 1950s and early 1960s. It was used to train new pilots in aerobatic, navigation, and formation flying. Reliable. Beside from the TS-8Bs, the Indonesian Air Force also operated the BT-13 Valiant, an American-built basic training aircraft developed during World War II. In Indonesian Air Force service after independence, the BT-13 was used for basic flight training. In front of us right here is the NU-200C Combat, an Indonesian-designed light aircraft developed in 1950s by Nurtanio Pringgo Adisuryo, a pioneer of Indonesia's aviation industry. Built as an experimental and training aircraft, it reflected Indonesia's early efforts to design and manufacture aircraft domestically using limited resources. This jet right here is the Aero L-29 Delfin, a Czechoslovak-built jet trainer aircraft designed for basic and advanced pilot training. Operated by the Indonesian Air Force in 1960s, it was used to train pilots transitioning from propeller-driven aircraft to jet fighters, reliable and easy to maintain. The L-29 played an important role in developing Indonesia's jet age pilot training system. This is the Lockheed T-33 Shooting Star, a jet trainer aircraft manufactured in the United States by Lockheed Aircraft Corporation. Derived from the F-80 fighter, the T-33 was designed to transition pilots from propeller aircraft to jet fighters. It became one of the most important jet trainers in Indonesian Air Force during the early jet era, and played a key role in preparing Indonesian pilots to operate advanced jet fighters. Another American jet right here is the F-86 Sabre, a jet fighter aircraft manufactured in the United States. and is widely regarded as one of the best fighters of the early Cold War era. The Indonesian Air Force operated the F-86 Sabre as a part of its modernization efforts in the late 1950s. Armed with six 12.7mm machine guns and capable of high-speed air combat, the Sabre significantly strengthened Indonesia's air defense capability. This one right here is the PZL-104 Wilga, operated by the Indonesian Air Force. It was used for training and light transport missions. The C-140 Jetstar is a light transport jet aircraft built by Lockheed Aircraft Corporation in the United States. Powered by four Pratt & Whitney Jet 12A6A engines, it was designed for fast, long-range executive and government transport. With a maximum speed of Mach 0.82 and a range of over 4,800 kilometers, the Jetstar was capable of high-altitude, efficient travel. In 1962, the aircraft was received as a gift from the United States government and served under the 17th Air Force Squadron at Halim Perdana Kusuma Air Force Base. It was primarily used for presidential missions, transporting the President of Indonesia on official visits to neighboring countries such as Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, and the Philippines. This small aircraft right here is the Auster Mark II, a British-built light observation aircraft developed during the World War II, designed for short takeoff and landing operations. It was well suited for reconnaissance, communication, and light transport roles. Then, this is the LT-200, a locally developed basic training aircraft produced by Nurtanio Aircraft Industry. Powered by a Lycoming engine, the aircraft was designed to support Indonesia's goal of self-reliance in aerospace technology. Another helicopter right here is the Bell 47G Solo, known for its distinctive bubble cockpit and reliable performance. Operated by the Indonesian Air Force, it was used for training, observation, and light transport missions. This is the hyperbaric chamber. It is a specialized facility used by the Indonesian Air Force to simulate high-altitude conditions. It allows aircrew to experience reduced air pressure and oxygen levels, helping trained pilots to recognize and manage hypoxia. This chamber plays an important role in improving flight safety and preparing personnel for high-altitude operations. This is the monument of the Dakota with the registration of Victor Tango Charlie Lima Alpha. It commemorates the Indonesian Air Force leased C-47 Dakota aircraft with the registration of Victor Tango Charlie Lima Alpha that was shot during the first Dutch military aggression on 29 July 1947. The aircraft was on a humanitarian mission when it was attacked, resulting in the loss of several key Indonesian aviation figures. There's also another glass display that shows diorama of Indonesia's military aviation, operation, and artifacts. After the diorama, you can also see some aircraft models hanging up on the ceiling. There's also a P-51's flight simulator. That's for today's video. I hope all of you learned new things about history of the Indonesian Air Force. And that's for today's treat. And see you on next video.